Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. I will not associate with any Igbo group that insults Buhari, says Umahi. Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi has said that he would not have anything to do with any Igbo group that castigates or insults President Muhammadu Buhari or any governor in the country. Umahi made the statement on Friday when the members of the Igbo leaders of thought, led by Professor Ben Onwabweze, paid him a courtesy call at the government house in Abakaliki. He said that he would closely monitor the proposed Abakaliki retreat being organized by any Igbo group called Uzoko Umana to ensure that the organizers do not use it to malign or abuse political or religious leaders. The governor said the group had written to him informing him of their plan to hold a retreat in the state. He said to he had problem with the retreat, provided they would not use the platform to castigate any governor or the president. Umahi, who said that the event would hold in 3 weeks' time, said he would stop the event if it turns out to be a platform for the castigation of President Buhari or any governor or government. Uzoko Umana wrote to me and said they would be holding a retreat in Abakaliki on 3rd weeks of this month. I told him that I had no problem with that. I will have problem with them if they use the retreat to castigate any governor, government or president. If that happens, I will collect their microphone from them and stop the program. I have said severally that castigating our leaders will not do us any good. I have told my appointees that I will sack any of them who insult Mr. President. He commended the group for coming together to champion Igbo interests, even as he enjoined them to shun partisan politics so as for the objectives of the group not to be defeated. Earlier in his remarks, the chairman of the group, Professor Onwabweze, told the governor that the group was formed by prominent Igbo leaders from different backgrounds for the purpose of championing the interests of the Igbo nation in the larger Nigeria polity. Onwabweze, who was represented by the deputy chairman of the group, Professor Chiweyite Ejike, said the group would continue to meet with relevant stakeholders of the zone for the overall interest and development of the zone. So guys, Umahi has come again, threatening people that if they insult the president, this is what he's going to do, this is not what he's not going to do. But I think this man is taking everything overboard. You are not going to be there forever, that is one thing. No matter what, you are not going to be there forever. And come to think of it, I don't know the kind of a government the APC is really running. There is nobody on earth that they will not talk about, that they will not insult. In as much you are a leader, they will talk about you. Now people are coming to you that they want to do retreat, they want to do whatever. Then why are you preempting them that maybe they want to use that platform to insult anybody? Of course, if you have done the right thing, people will chant your praises. If you have not done the right thing, people will talk about it. This idea of not letting people say their mind because of what? If you have done the right thing and people are castigating you, leave them to whatever. One thing is that reality is sure. Once you have done something, it will be there for everybody to see. If people like, let them not see it. But if you know that you have done the right thing, why do you bother yourself? Because that is one of the things they are charging Showore for, that he insulted the president. Why? When has that become a crime? That you cannot insult, you cannot talk about people, because once you talk about them, they term it to be insult. Anything is hate speech. Once you tell them to their faces that you have not done the right thing, you have not done this, you have not done that, they term it as insult, they term it as hate speech, and that is why it's really getting them angry. You do the needful. Once you do the needful, you will see how people will be chanting your praises. It was just like the case of Saul and David. He didn't do well. The people left the king and began to chant the praises of David, and everybody, and he was so angry. The king was so angry because they were chanting his praises. They were not chanting his praises, and they left him as a king. So because he didn't do well, if you do the right thing, people will talk about it. And if you don't do the right thing, people will still talk about it. So this idea of shutting people up, and even as he was even telling the people, he was just emphasizing. They said they want to do the retreat. If you have not done anything wrong, why would you be bothered? Why bothering yourself? And those ones, they are not even making mention, as even as he was even trying to preempt them. You can imagine they are not even having such things in mind, but you are trying to put it before them. Then before, as you are putting it before them, they were just like, what does this guy really want? Is it because you are close to somebody, then it is everything the person does, then you have to be, backing the person, even when the person is not doing the right thing? So at this stage that we are in this country, are things going on the way they ought to go? Of course, they will tell you things are going on well because everything is good for them. Everything is working for them because they are using the weight of the country against the masses, because they are amassing the weight to themselves. And that is why they are angry. They don't want people to say anything about it. All these programs or the policies they are being involved in, they are not the things that will make the country to move forward, because it's not affecting the people's life positively the way it ought to. The progress they say they are making, they are just crawling. That is just the way it is. They are just crawling. How can you be telling people they are organizing a retreat? You said they should not talk about Buhari, they should not insult it. Who insults anybody? The idea is just for them not to say anything, for them not to demand what they want. Insult Buhari how? Then if they insult Buhari, is it today that they've been insulting president? The ones that are even in the developed countries that their people always run to, they still insult their president. They talk about their president. If he has not done right, if he does not do well, they talk about him. Even Donald Trump there, they talk about him. All this Putin, they talk about him. Even this Boris Johnson, they talk about them. A man challenged him one day. He was moving on the street. A man challenged him one day, Boris Johnson. He said, what? The man was asking him. I uploaded a video some time ago. The man accused the president. The president was, or the prime minister, was not having all these details, all these securities around him. He was just walking like a normal person, a whole prime minister. Common local government chairman cannot just even walk alone. You will see him with all his entourages. A whole prime minister was walking, and a man just, came across him and challenged him that, what are you doing here? You are supposed to be in Brussels negotiating this Brexit that we are talking about. What are you doing here? And with all humility, you could see the prime minister, he was explaining. He was explaining to the man. The man was just shouting on top of his voice. You can imagine if it were to be in Nigeria, what audacity to even ask a question, let alone your voice. You'll be shouting on top of your voice, raising your voice on the prime minister, just as we have a president here. And the man, even as the man was shouting, it was just a normal person, not as if maybe it was just, you could see that the man was hungry. The passerby was hungry. And as he was shouting, the prime minister was, in humility, was just trying to explain. He was just trying to explain to him, okay, this is even the explanation, the man did not, the citizen did not even buy out into all those explanations the man was making. You can imagine, in humility, because he knows quite all right that himself is the servant of the people. So, but in our own case, reverse is the case. People want to organize a retreat. The next thing, because you know that you guys have not done anything. You have not done anything. Oh, they are organizing a retreat. So it is all about to insult any governor, to insult any president. You are preempting them. You are telling them what you want. Even if really they don't even have such thing in mind, you are telling them not to say anything. Is it because of this presidency? What is the big deal about this presidency? The marginalization they are talking about, it is the marginalization of the masses, but it is the marginalization of the elite, these politicians. That is what they are concerned about. Your people are being marginalized day in, day out. You guys are not saying anything about it, but you'll be pushing forward to this presidency. What is the big deal about this presidency? I think that's why they are all of them. They are just trying to look like, people who don't even reason. Because if you reason well, I don't see anything wrong in you saying the presidency must be for you, must be for you. If anybody is going there to be a president, it's supposed to be for the people. But what we have now, it's not really like that. Even the Muhammad Buhari that is there, of what use? I'm always saying it. Of what use is his presidency to his people? A lot of people, his people now are saying that he's not. They are really disappointed because what they thought it is going to do for them, that they are not seeing it. So that they still want the power to be retained in their region. So what are we talking about? Fashola that had 3 portfolios in the last regime, how did he affect a Yoruba man on the street? The vice president, who is from the southwest, of what use is his presidency to the masses in southwest? So what are we talking about? The Igbos that have not been president, that have not, tasted the presidency for so many years now. Can you compare the lives of their people to the lives of all those who have been in presidency? So what are we talking about? They should continue deceiving themselves. Their people should continue to allow them to be deceived. That okay, when we are there, if they are there, what has that changed your life? What has it brought to the table? Has it brought food to your table? Has it changed your life personally? If somebody is from the Igbo presidency, or the Igbo presidency goes to any Igbo man, does that mean that your life is going to be better off? The ones that are there now, are their lives better off? So what are we talking about? Because of this presidency, you are just here and there, you are just monitoring people. You even want to not monitor people in their homes, saying that if they insult or any president or talk about them, he will collect the microphone. To that extent, why can you stoop so low to that extent? Are they not free to say whatever? Let them say whatever they want to say. Then if anybody who feels that is being insulted should go to court or charge the person. So why are you crying more than the bereaved? Is that to govern people? You think you can be there forever? You can't be there forever. All these abnormalities that you guys you involve yourself in, it's not going to pay you, because you want to be shutting down everybody. Nobody should talk. And that was why I said, I don't know the kind of government that this APC is running. They don't just want anybody to talk. Because of all these things, it has come down to the level of this Umahi. If his appointees, if his staff insult the president, why can't you tell the president to do the needful? You people cannot talk to the president. Why can't you tell him to do the needful? It's because majority of them are sycophants. They are all sycophants because of what they want to get. Within their heart, they know that the man is not doing well. Within their heart, they themselves, if they have their own personal company, will they employ such a person in their company? The answer, they know the answer. So you will come up and be telling us, robbing people with all manner of things to their faces, and you expect them to keep quiet. People have come to you, they want to organize a retreat. The next thing, you are preempting them that if the program or the retreat is going to be to insult the president, you're going to collect the microphone for them. You can imagine. That means you don't even have work. You're looking for people who's going to who will be insulting the president. You think you are going to be there forever. So guys, I would like to hear from you what you think about what this man is doing, because I think he's taking everything overboard. Leave your comments below and let's learn from you. Thank you very much. Bye.